A question here from Ria. How do you help EAs fill the gaps of their own knowledge to then help them feel confident in the classroom? So Mel, you mentioned earlier that while they were watching something, you were taking notes yourself. So I guess from your point of view, how have you soaked in the knowledge and what tips would you give? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm probably never the most confident person in the room, but I always like to go into a classroom feeling like I know what's being taught or how I can help. So I am a prolific note taker, and I find that helps anyway when kids with mental health issues or anxiety, and there might be school avoidance or any of those things, and there's gaps, there's days where they're not at school. I mean, obviously my first job is helping the students in class, but if ever the teacher's giving a handout, they always make a copy for me, and I'll tend to write notes in there, and that helps me catch students up if they've not been at school. Another thing which I really like actually is if you're in the same year group but different teachers, you learn different things from each different teacher, which you can then take to the next class. So I've found, again, when you're in that subject all the time, you're learning so much. And there's no shame in if you don't know something. If I'm in year 10 physics and I'm not sure of something, there's no shame in an EA going up to the teacher and saying, oh, can you show this student X, Y, and Z? I'll just watch. And then you know how to do it. You're learning something new as well.
Yeah, I would say I think the EAs have all got a growth mindset. So, you know, not all of our EAs are in departments, half are, sort of half aren't. But, you know, I think EAs already manage all the time with going into classes where there's things that they wouldn't know. I mean, there is no way I could do what Melanie does, or the people who are in maths or English or science. Their depth of knowledge is far greater than mine when it's not my subject area.
I was just thinking on that, Rebecca, from year to year, are you able to give your EAs some type of, you know, you're staying in science even though the kids are moving up a year level? You've sort of got an idea that EA roles are not necessarily going to change that much. You'll still stay in that science department.
Yeah, we're actually working through that now. But, you know, for the most part, we know we talk about it. If somebody wants a change or somebody wants to do something different, we work it out. But I think since we started it, no one's ever asked to come out of a department.
Yeah.
But by the same token, the people who don't work in a department are very happy doing what they do as well. So, you know, it's sort of making the right fit where you need to be.
Absolutely. All right. Have you ever had any EAs who are not keen at all to work in the department, and how did you sort of coach them into it or make some swaps if no one's keen to work in that department?
You know, we haven't had that. You know, I don't have 100 EAs. I've got like less than, well, maybe 10 in the secondary. Certainly across the whole school there's a lot more. But there's never really been an issue with allocating somebody. I guess there's been a couple of instances where we've recruited, and it might be, well, actually the thing we're looking for is, you know, a certain subject. So, I mean, last time we recruited, I picked up somebody who'd been an English teacher for 30 years and didn't want to teach anymore. And I picked up a person who'd been working at an education assistant at another school not far away. And, you know, it was like, this is kind of what we're thinking. What do you think? And she was open and, you know, has dived in and she's about to finish her first year. So I think everyone's kind of just up for it, really. And if people don't want to, you know, we do have some that aren't that keen, that's fine. You don't need to. We've got roles for everyone.
I would say though, on that is giving it a go. I think Rebecca's been quite good many times pushing me out of my comfort zone. So again, that pressure for me of going, oh my God, can I do that? Can I do that? And just giving it a try. And now at the end of every year, I'm asking to stay in science. So it's definitely worth give it a go and see.
Yeah. I think earlier you were talking about when you're in the staff room and there's those incidental moments that you can just pick up on easily. And I wrote down in my notes like the importance of absolutely harnessing the incidental moments. So by putting EAs into the staff room with teachers, you've just found all that lost time that we can never
Right.
find, right? Because it's all those incidental moments. And
that is
I
so
think you
true.
nailed it.